There's a picture that I was gonna send. It was Winnie the Pooh giving a hand job to the bee from Cheerios, Buzz.
Oh, fuck me.
Okay, Winnie the Pooh.
And now Peach is going to Google it.
Is hand jobbing a verb? Are you okay?
God damn it. Oh, fuck.
Sounds like some good shit, is it?
Oh my god.
Imagine that in a spelling bee. And you use that in a sentence.
The word is hand jobbing.
Hand jobbing. All right, that's enough with images. Let's get this thing started, shall we?
What interesting thing are we talking about today?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because I went onto the interwebs and I found a random topic generator.
Oh, no.
Let's see, let's generate a random topic to talk about. Do you play sports video games? Which ones? Is playing the video game or playing the sport more fun, and why?
No, I don't play sport.
Oh, here's a good one. What is something that you have gotten in trouble for at school or work?
Shitting myself.
I don't have anything interesting to say on that one.
Oh, I once got in trouble for putting a kid in a trash can and pushing him down some stairs.
Wait, you did this at work?
No, I did this at school.
Oh.
Imagine doing that at work.
It's bring your kid to work day. Come here, little Billy. Throw in a trash can. Chuck him downstairs. See if you ever come back here, you little shit.
Oh my gosh. Oh man, these topics suck.
They really do.
I can remember getting in trouble at work because I went to the bathroom a lot. Like, I told them, hey, when I get nervous, I need to shit.
Dude, they make fun of me at work all the time because I go to the bathroom as often as I do. Because I have like a very overactive digestive system.
And you guys
because
make
of
fun
my
of
GERD.
me for peeing a lot.
I poop a lot. Like a lot.
Same. Peaches, we make fun of you because you have an old man bladder.
Excuse me, I drink a lot of water, thank you very much.
What's that?
That's this liquidy stuff that comes out of a faucet over in the sink.
That's Kool-Aid.
If it's the color of Kool-Aid, that means you're in some big trouble. That means your pipes are fucked. That's what that means.
It's cherry Kool-Aid, and it's the same color when it comes out.
It's cherry Kool-Aid. It tastes like blood.
It's blood.
Yeah, that means you're in like fucking Egypt during the time of Moses.
How awful would that have been?
Let my people go to the
Honey, the faucet
store.
is spewing blood again. I think Moses is in the area.
That's how you know he spawns in the area.
He just spawns.
It's fucking great.
He's just like Nightcrawler teleporting around.
Yeah, he's just spawning in random places, like fucking everybody's shit up.
Just imagine that when you come off the airplane, it just says your name has spawned.
Oh no.
Just imagine.
Well, you're trying to crash into the sea, and then Moses all of a sudden spawns on top of the airplane, parts the seas, and then you crash straight to the ground, and then he despawns, and then all the water comes and floods the plane.
He's just teleporting around being a nuisance.
It's just like he's like a fucking random Minecraft wizard that just bing, bing, bing. He's not actually a biblical character anymore. He's an annoying ass wizard.
Just imagine that all you hear is like God saying, gee, I wonder what Moses is up to today.
He checks out his like spawning history. He's like, what the fuck?
And then he's just like, oh, that little rascal.
He's killed the firstborn son of this whole town again. What a scamp.
Like everyone sequentially, like, I don't know how you say it. Everyone just automatically shits their pants once they hear Moses spawning noise, like ring
Yeah.
on the plane, and like, oh fuck.
What would his spawning noise be? Would it just be like 2 bricks hitting the floor?
What did Moses even do?
Take his people on like a 40-year-old journey that apparently would have only took 6 days.
Oh yeah, to the land of milk and honey.
Well, it's because they got lost in the desert.
Yeah, and then they follow like a big old pillar.
What would
You know they were walking through the desert going, land of milk and honey, my ass.
And then they actually get there and they're like, what is this shit? It's just a land filled like a foot deep of milk and honey. This is the worst.
It's covered in bees.
The fucking bees!
Oh no, the bees! The bees are back.
We trudged in the desert for 40 years just to get bees.
Just to find bees.
Then all you hear is, I don't like Jerry Seinfeld.
One comes up, it's like, you like smooth jazz?
Oh my god. And then Moses busts out the saxophone.
He's just like, you like the Bible.
That's what I would do is I'd go back in time, grab a Bible, take it with me, and chuck it at Moses' stupid face. Read this, bitch.
Part the Red Sea, more like part these pages.
It's everything. It's like the entire history, and it's like, you know, he gets to see into the future, but he can't even read it.
Yeah, because it's in English.
Yeah.
He's like, what is this?
It's like a dead language.
You just go back in time and then just give him a map, like, here.
Yeah, exactly.
It just takes them 6 days to get to the
Give him a
desert instead of
compass.
40
Say,
years.
you're here, you go here.
Well, I suppose we should introduce ourselves.
All right. Welcome to the Joysticks and Lunatics podcast, where we have the joysticks and y'all are the lunatics for listening to this. I am your host, Benjamin Dude Guy.
And I am the chubby nerd Logan.
My brain.
He couldn't keep up with the bit. Throw him out.
My brain.
Anything slightly confusing happens. He's in school and he's trying to do a really hard test and he just randomly screams out, my brain, and then just goes right back to taking the test.
I have actually done that before during my exams. I was like, fuck! Then the teacher's like, Ben, are you okay? And I was just like, yeah, I'm fine. I just needed to get that out of there.
Oh my god. I would have loved to be a fly on the wall with that. Oh my god.
He's just looking at the top of the exam paper right next to the line that says name. He just screams, fuck.
I can't remember how to spell my last name.
That's the only thing I remember to spell. I always forget how to spell address for some reason.
Well, it's A space DRESS.
So.
All right. What game are we playing this week? What game did we play this week?
Baby's first fucking dungeon crawler.
We played Minecraft Dungeons.
And how was that?
Easy.
It was okay.
It was okay.
Do, 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 do. That's the end of the podcast.
What is this, Jeopardy? I'll take mediocre at best game for 200, Phil.
They have to answer in the form of a question.
There's...
Yeah. What is Minecraft?
What is Minecraft?
No, that's not even like them answering the question. That's them legitimately asking, what the hell is Minecraft?
That's Alex Trebek going, seriously, what the fuck is this shit?
Well, Minecraft Dungeons is a dungeon crawler game made by Mojang Studios and Double 11, published by Xbox Game Studios. And this was, what was this, bird's eye view?
Isometric perspective.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's isometric. It's like a top-down angle. It's not 100% top-down. It's isometric. Yeah, that's the word. That's the thing.
Why don't we just choose cinematic camera angle?
It's the same perspective that you get in a lot of dungeon crawlers, where it's not like straight on forward. Everything is kind of like at an angle. So instead of walking directly up or down, you're walking at like a 45-degree angle or whatever to get to places that you want to go. It's all diagonal perspective.
This game was released for Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, PC, and Xbox One, May 26, 2020. This came out of nowhere, I heard Logan say multiple times.
Yeah, like, I don't think it had an announcement for it or anything. It just, like, appeared one day.
It just dropped. He's like, here, just take this.
Pretty much, because I can, like, remember YouTubers going, like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, that's 100%. Like, the only reason I knew this game was coming out was because I frequent the Nintendo eShop and I go into what's coming out section and it was just in there and I'm like, what is that? And why does it look like something that I would totally play?
Because you have a hard-on for dungeon crawlers.
Logan,
Yes?
you like Diablo too. We're not the only ones.
I'm just saying, he has a hard-on for dungeon crawlers.
You've said that so many times. You've said that so many times, like you don't like dungeon crawlers. But you played this with us. You seem to be having fun. Like, I mean, I didn't really check your heartbeat every once in a while, but
I'm not saying I didn't have fun. I did. I'm just saying he has a boner for dungeon crawlers, and we both know that.
It is my favorite genre, I will admit. That and RPGs. I like RPGs too.
And hentai games.
And well, yeah, I mean, obviously. If you mix them all together, you get a hentai RPG.
Okay, we can get right back on the rails again.
No,
Hold on,
we
he's got
need
something.
to talk about this. There's I seen on Steam. There's a hentai dungeon crawler being released.
No way.
Yeah, send it to all of us.
Hey, I'm not buying it. It's like £30.
I'll buy it for all of you guys then.
Since I got in trouble for buying this games.
So Minecraft Dungeons, like we had mentioned, it kind of came out of nowhere, so you're probably wondering what it is. And like we had mentioned, it's very, it's like inspired, I guess, by other dungeon crawlers such as Diablo, which is incredibly popular, which is ultimately what I think that this game was trying to do. It was kind of creating a bridge between, Minecraft, something that targets a lot of younger audiences, and then dungeon crawlers, which has a very large the following, I guess. It so much as creates this bridge for younger audiences to experience other genres of games. And the reason why I think that is the case is because this has really no aspects of Minecraft in it at all, except of course for like the enemies and like the lore. It creates a story or whatever out of all the enemies that exist in the Minecraft universe, but you don't craft blocks. You're not mining, you're not doing any of that stuff, you're not building no houses, whatever. The levels are completely procedurally generated, and the monsters are randomly generated. And then, of course, there's traps and puzzles and bosses, and you find your treasure and you get all your loot and stuff. But as far as the normal aspects of Minecraft, like creation mode and stuff, that does not exist in this game. So if you are looking for a game that is like the sequel to Minecraft, this is not it. You're not going to get all the stuff that you do in Minecraft Dungeons.
I'm pretty sure that just summed up the entire game.
Yeah, so I mean, the reviews for this game, they did get mixed reviews for it. Most people gave it like a 7 out of 10. So, I mean, I did call it mediocre at best. I would say that it is a little bit better than mediocre because they do offer like a whole lot of stuff in the game, and it makes it very it's always fun to play with friends. So this is a good game to do that with, you know. Just go in there, fuck around, kill a bunch of zombies. It's a good time.
Oh, and it's absolutely like meant for that because I'd played single player for a little while on the game, and especially one level where you have to fight this cauldron boss. It's not so much a boss as it's like this stationary object that you have to destroy. And it keeps spawning monsters and mobs around you. And holy crap, even on like the easiest difficulty that you can select for it, it is a challenge when you're doing it by yourself because of how many enemies it spawns. So you can tell right away that this game is meant for you to play with other people. I mean, it's possible to play single player and it's not that bad, but the game gets its fun by playing with other people.
And another thing is the more people you have and the more enemies that you have sort of access to slaughter, essentially. So instead of doing single player where you have a certain, you know, like maybe a significantly smaller amount of enemies, you can invite all 4 friends and just get completely demolished by billions of zombies.
Yeah.
That's if you have 4 friends.
Well, we've got 4 friends.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, some people who listen to us might not have friends to play with. Or, like...
Just instantly chuck them under the bus? Why don't
Yeah.
you?
Anybody that enjoys Minecraft has no friends and therefore won't be able to play this game to its fullest extent.
Points of view, I've never felt the touch of a woman.
Yeah.
Wait, was that a dig at me?
No, that was not a dig at you.
No.
You've never seen those memes? The point of view, never felt the touch of a woman. It's like a guy that has like a really nice gaming setup and everything.
Oh, yeah, them.
Oh my god. No, I'm joking about your lack of sex life, my friend.
Because you're playing Minecraft Dungeons.
Maybe if you got rid of that yee-ass haircut you've got there, you'd get some bitches on your dick.
Why? Oh yeah, speaking of that meme, I came across a Sonic one, and know how when they say Sega... Yeah, you guys know where I'm going.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Don't say it.
Oh,
I will censor that.
It's just the opening scene of the Sega logo, and Sonic runs out holding his wiener in his hand, and it's just like, smegma.
Oh my god, you guys are awful.
Okay, let's get back to Minecraft Dungeons. So the story of Minecraft Dungeons. I know that you guys kind of skipped through a lot of the cutscenes
You
or
mean
whatever,
all
so
of
you
them?
didn't really pay. Yeah, okay,
Yes.
so you didn't really pay any attention to the story.
At all.
No.
Okay, so the story is fantastic. Okay, it's about in a villager called Archie, and he's driven away by all of his people, other villagers, because he's ugly.
I thought it was because he's a midget.
he's like deformed or whatever, and they don't like, for some reason they don't accept him, and every village he goes to just keeps casting him out. So he's just some outcast that nobody wants anything to do with. And while he's out moving around, he finds this thing called the Orb of Dominance, which gives him magic powers, but then it corrupts him, and then he becomes known as the Arch Illager. and he uses his newfound powers to seek out vengeance of all the people that wronged him. And he creates, using that orb of dominance, he corrupts other villagers to make it into an army, so that he has this army to fight off and murder all these other villagers for basically calling him ugly.
I'm sorry to break it to the fucking villagers, but they all look deformed.
I know.
Pot calling the kettle black here.
Oh, I know. It's so bad, but that's the story. And then each quest that you go on, you're basically trying to thwart his advances on creating armies, creating potions, and all this stuff that ultimately allow him to take over the land. You're trying to slow his progress and then ultimately get to the end where you defeat him in his castle.
Yeah, he's kind of an annoying little prick.
Yeah. The game is not very long, actually, at all. Considering all the stuff that we played, we only had maybe about 2 missions left, and one of those missions includes the final mission.
Really?
Yeah, it's a very short story, and as you go through all those missions and stuff, of course, you find secret areas that you can go to add additional dungeons and stuff that you fight through to get better loot. But once you beat the game, it unlocks the next difficulty. So you play on default first, and then you skip over to the next one. And the next one is, of course, more difficult, but you get better stuff. So all the weapons and armor and stuff that you get, you'll get better, like better ones that are specific to that difficulty. So you're not going to find any of that stuff. Like they'll have new unique weapons, new unique armor, and stuff like that that you can find in the other ones, and then they'll have better enchantments. So all the enchantments that we can get on our weapons armor right now, they have additional ones that are unlockable in the other ones to make your character even more powerful and have even more special abilities and stuff that you enchant.
So it looks like there's about 13 main levels that you can go through. And then I do not believe that that's including the secret levels.
Was it even shown at E3 or anything, or is it just like a back project?
Yeah, so fucking seriously.
But it did have a good reception when it first came out. It's all over YouTube.
Apparently, a video showcasing gameplay was released during E3 of 2019.
Are you sure that wasn't like a DLC or something?
That probably fell so under the radar.
Oh, it
Yeah.
did, because apparently it was first announced September 28th of 2018 during the Minecon live streaming event.
I forget Mincon's a thing.
Yeah, I heard absolutely nothing about this game.
I had no idea anything about this game, but I don't
Minecon is still a thing?
I guess I don't follow Minecraft news. I don't play Minecraft. And not to say that it's a bad game or anything, it's just I don't get immersed in it. I've played my absolute fair share of Minecraft before, but because of all the different games that I have right now and all the other stuff that I have going, I just don't get invested in Minecraft. I don't really know anybody that plays, and I don't like the game when it comes to single player. It just seems kind of boring. It's like, but if you have people to play, like this game, for instance, Minecraft Dungeons, it's not a bad game to play at all. And I don't knock anybody to play Minecraft or anything, but I just don't follow it. I don't follow the news of Minecraft.
Yeah, and I mean, most everyone had a problem with it. It's very like you said, like it's a very short story. Like, didn't seem like a whole lot to it. People liked the visuals, they thought the music was fine, but they just didn't like the story mode being so fucking short.
They added to the story by DLC. The first DLC that came out in July, following its release. So that was only 2 months after that game had come out. Actually, like less than 2 months after the game came out, they came out with downloadable content for it that expands on it. So after you have defeated the Illager or whatever, apparently you destroy that orb of dominance, but then its pieces scatter through the world, and they corrupt other areas. So the downloadable content takes place after the main story, after you destroy the orb of dominance, and you have to fight off the corruption that its pieces are causing in different areas. So there are 3 downloadable packs to it available right now. You got the Jungle Awakens, which was the first one, and then the other two came out actually towards the end of last year, which were Creeping Winter and Howling Peaks.
Yeah.
Now, we don't have the DLC for the game because we were playing it for free on Xbox Game Pass, but then again, we didn't finish the game. I mean, we could have, but we replayed a lot of levels.
We were like pretty much almost the last level anyway, so.
Yeah, we were nearly done with the game.
I think this was like farthest we've ever gotten to completing a game.
That is true.
Hey, don't oust us right on the podcast here.
Hey, our audience know what they're in for anyway.
So, like, when the game was developed, it wasn't originally supposed to be a multiplayer game. Actually, it was supposed to be a single-player dungeon crawl game, which was inspired by the Legend of Zelda series, and it was supposed to be for the Nintendo 3DS.
That makes sense.
So it was originally, going to be released for a handheld system, but then as the game started getting more and more developed and started taking shape, the elements, were changed or removed. They switched up a bunch of stuff. They added the multiplayer feature, which ended up becoming like the main point of the game. And it just ultimately, in my opinion, I don't think that a single player dungeon crawl Minecraft game would have been that fun. The fact that it focuses on multiplayer now is what I believe gives this game life and longevity, because the game is actually pretty fun. I actually thought the game was more fun than I originally expected it to be.
Yeah, same here, because I had played what was the single player for a little bit, and it didn't keep my attention so much. Because it was just really simple. Like, you fight the sort of main mobs in the game, but like you would in Minecraft. So there wasn't anything super like new or interesting that I haven't seen before.
The one thing that about this game that I think is really nice and what makes it friendly, I guess, to a younger audience is that unlike other dungeon crawl games such as Diablo or Torchlight, where at the very beginning you have to pick a class. So you can pick like a wizard, or you can pick a fighter or an engineer or something, and then every time you level up, you get stat points that you can put into different things such as strength and charisma or all that stuff that adds different elements to your character. This game doesn't do that. In fact, when you level up, you don't get any stat increases at all. What you do get are enchantment points. And what enchantment points do is unlock special abilities in your weapons or your armor. And that adds stat bonuses, not necessarily like in terms of increasing your strength or whatever. Some of them do increase damage and stuff or increase health, but they have added effects. Like some of them will damage enemies over time that get close to you, or some will cause like your bow and arrow to shoot 2 arrows instead of 1. And it gives your character a leg up, and you can expand on those enchantments that you get by increasing their level and therefore increasing their buff durations or their spawning abilities and stuff like that to create enemies that are not enemies but allies that spawn next to you that help you and aid in battle. So that is, I think that makes it more
Compatible?
my brain broke, sorry. Yeah, it makes it more compatible for a younger audience to understand how to play the game. And the best thing is if you get a better armor, say you have an armor that you had before and you've used all your enchantment points on it, but you find a better armor that you want to use, but you've already enchanted this other armor. Well, the good news is you can salvage that armor that has been enchanted and you get all of your enchantment points back. So you never lose any enchantments. You don't lose any of that buff abilities in any of your stuff, because if you get rid of any of your old stuff that's been enchanted, it gives you the option to enchant the new stuff with the same points that you had put into your previous equipment. And it makes the game so much easier. It's a very easy game, and I think the difficulty of the game comes from the swarm of enemies that you get. There's not a whole lot of variety. I mean, there is a fair variety of enemies, but they ultimately do the same thing. You get like certain enemies that will just run up to you and they'll attack. Some are faster, some are slower. Some of them will shoot bows from a distance. Some of them are they shoot faster and some of them shoot slower. So you'll always have ranged enemies, you always have melee enemies, and then you always have enemies that complement other enemies surrounding you, such as the guy that spawns pillars that block your movement, or there's one that will cast enchantments on enemies to increase their defense. So that's where the difficulty ultimately takes place in the game, is just being overwhelmed, I guess, with enemies. But some abilities that you can unlock through enchantments in your armor and stuff counteract that by causing any damage that you receive from some of the enemies to be sent right back to them. So you don't have to choose at the beginning of the game to be a magic wielder or be a melee fighter. You'll always get a melee weapon and you'll always get a ranged weapon. And the ranged weapon's always like a bow. And then you'll always have some melee weapon that either has high powered and low speed or low power and high speed. And that's ultimately the way the game goes. So there's no funneling points into stats. There's no trying to wield certain weapons that are only compatible to certain classes. Anybody can use any weapon that you find, anybody can equip any armor that you find, and it's all based on pretty much the same playstyle.
I think you actually just covered it down again.
Well, there's lots of different weapons that you can get: axes, staves, you can get swords, you can get sickles. There's some variety that is separate from Minecraft. There's some weapons and stuff that, they added a bunch of stuff like that. So you can get maces, flails, hammers, sickles, all sorts of stuff that you didn't ever see in Minecraft. So I'm just kind of wondering why they didn't do the same thing with the enemies. They kept the enemies way more familiar, but they made the weapons entirely something you'll never see in Minecraft.
They also have artifacts. So each character has the ability to hold 3 separate artifacts, and the artifacts are all hotkeyed to a certain button, whether it be on your keyboard and mouse or if it's on a controller if you're playing with a controller. And some of them have cooldowns, but they all do certain different things based on how you want to play your character. Some of them can create AoE healing, some of them can create shields, some will buff your speed or your defense. Some will even summon an ally like a wolf or a llama or something that will fight alongside you in battle. And these are all completely interchangeable. So one person can have a bunch of AoE healing ones so that they're good at healing the party. Some of them can have ones that just spawn allies and then have all of these ones that these ally pets or whatever fighting alongside you. But you can kind of switch those up at any point, but those can't get enchanted. But you can unlock like the same artifact later on that has slightly more powerful effects. So the way the game goes is when you select a mission at the beginning, it gives you a slider on there so you can select what difficulty you want to play that mission at, and it gives you recommendations based on your total power. So your character's power is influenced by how powerful are your armor, your weapons, and all of your artifacts powers combined, as well as your character's level, and it gives you a recommendation on to what you should play for the optimum challenge, I guess. So, but you don't have to play by that. You can make it easier so that you can run through a lot quicker, or you can make it more challenging depending on other people in your party, because there there is no I guess power leveling is in its aspect. So it takes all of your character's powers into consideration when it gives you a recommendation on what challenge you should play. Because one person can be level 20 and you could be playing with a new level 1 person that doesn't have any enchantments on stuff. And of course, you don't want to play that level and have it be ridiculously insane, as far as a challenge. So you can move that slider down a little bit to make it easier for the characters that aren't as high of level.
Did you guys do that for me?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure we just went into the missions and then just selected the recommendation the recommended challenge, and I think it took your level into consideration. So we never adjusted that. We just went with whatever was recommended.
Yeah, so whenever we had first played this, we had gotten some good stuff, and then after that, for some reason, it deleted my basically my game, and I had to start from the very beginning again. So that was fun,
That was a
but
bummer.
it seemed though it did seem to like get me leveled up pretty quickly. So I didn't notice. Do any of the weapons or armor have level caps or requirements?
No.
It didn't, because you could literally equip like the strongest weapon in the game if you find it just right off the bat and just start going to town, like demolishing everything.
Yeah. So like you're not going to find a sword that's a higher level that does any more damage than a sword at an earlier level. They have stats on them, so they have like the area of attack that they can hit. They have power, and then they have speed. So a sword of any type is ultimately going to have the same power, the same speed, do the same area damage, but the higher level ones you have better enchantments. So when you get a higher level, you can unlock better abilities that sword can do. So that sword might have enchantments that are more powerful than any of the earlier level stuff that you find. So, for instance, I was level 20 something and I just unlocked an artifact that had a really high power level and I just gave it to you through a character and you could just use it. So
Yeah.
you didn't have to be a certain level, you didn't have to be a certain power rank or whatever in order to use that item. You can just get it. But the game wasn't going to hand it to you because you were a lower level. It had to have been handed to you by a more higher level character.
There is a pickaxe called the Monkey Motivator.
The Monkey Motivator?
You're shitting me.
Apparently, it is unattainable.
What's the point of that?
What then how
It's so the references can be found in the game files, and it was supposedly going to be with a DLC, but they never put it in.
I wonder why.
That's fucking great. I love it. A point to this, actually, it in November it was made to be cross-platform, so you can play with anyone on any console.
Really?
Yeah, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, and Windows.
Okay, cool.
So now I can play with everybody. So
One thing I wanted to mention about the game is that it's not an open world like Minecraft, but it's not so much of a linear storyline. So as the game progresses, you start out in a camp. After you do the tutorial mission, which you can skip, you go to a camp, and that camp is like your central hub, if you will. And from there you can select a mission. So you don't have to play missions in a row. It'll give you multiple missions that you get to choose from. And it'll give you like little things on there, like, so if you play a mission and you beat it but then you go back to that, it'll tell you if there's treasure that you missed or if there's a secret area that you missed or a merchant. So in each level that you play, mostly each level that you play, you can find a merchant that is being locked up in like a little cell. And if you find them and you free them, it unlocks something in your camp, like the village merchant or a luxury merchant or a mystery merchant. And you can spend all the gems that you unlock in the game, which is your in-game currency. You can spend it at your camp with each of these merchants that you have acquired, and they have more stuff in their shops depending on how far you've progressed in the story or how many villagers you've rescued and such like that. So there'll be a normal merchant that sells pretty standard weapons. Occasionally they'll sell like rare weapons or armor or artifacts. There's also like the luxury merchant who typically sells rare or unique items that you can get and then you can power them up. So you don't have to only unlock your weapons and armor through killing mobs or finding treasure chests in each of the missions. You can actually buy stuff that you like, that you think might fit your playstyle a little bit better from one of these merchants that you have unlocked from a mission that you've played. And when it comes to multiplayer, you don't have to wait for everybody to be available in the game before you start a mission. Because one of the things that I had done earlier today was I just joined one of their missions in progress. So if you see that somebody on your friends list has an online game going, you can just join them if it's not a private game, and you will just spawn in the map that they're already playing mid-mission. So I like that aspect of the multiplayer. You don't have to wait for somebody to invite you or whatever, unless it's a private mission. Of course, you need an invitation. But at any point in time, you can just jump into a friend's game and play alongside them without waiting for them to get back to camp or returning to the title screen and all that stuff. You can just join.
Yeah, you straight up just popped into Logan's game and scared the heck out of me.
Yeah.
That's what you did.
What, did he do the superhero landing?
That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Or did he just spawn like Moses?
Just spawn wherever I go.
Let my people go. Whoop. And he's gone.
And then I disappear.
That's the noise that he makes when he disappears.
I guess we can just talk about our ratings and personal experiences.
So, Logan, what was your experience with this game?
Well, if you can remember at the start, the game almost made me have a mental fucking breakdown.
Oh yeah.
Why did it do that? I forgot.
Because it just would not let me connect to anything.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, what was it again? Did you just have to re-download the game?
Yeah, I had to re-download it, restart my computer, sign out, sign back in. It was, to be honest, I'd rather.
Yeah, so sometimes if you're not, sometimes it'll have you sign out and sign back in because you can't join another person's game for whatever reason. It gives you a kind of a weird error, and it doesn't. It's very hard to sort of find it online, and so we were all trying to help Logan figure out how to get the game working.
Like, it isn't a bad game. Like, the artifacts are pretty fucking awesome, especially, the cursed fuck.
The cursed fuck.
Banjo, what's it called? The cursed cube thing.
Dude, I have no idea what he's talking about.
He broke his spine.
Broke his spine.
What?
Why his spine?
I was reading something and my brain freaking stopped. I meant to say you broke his brain, but I read a word as spine and it just came out. I hate that.
Logan,
Yes.
Banjo, can you hear us? Are you
Yes, I
having
can.
a stroke?
I might be.
Don't go towards the light.
Stay away from Moses.
He's not an angel of death, goddammit.
Well, he fucking might be if he crashes planes into the fucking ocean floor.
He buries them just fine. It'll be all right. All right, we're talking about your experience, Logan.
Okay, it was actually quite fun, but I will admit sometimes the bosses kind of want to finger your ass.
A little too hard. Yeah, it's these giant ass golems that are supposed to weigh billions of pounds, but for some reason they're able to close the distance
very quickly.
Oh yeah.
Between you and him real quick, and he comes up and just straight fists you.
Takes away like half your health.
And you think creepers are terrible in normal Minecraft. No, these things just run towards you like a wobbly penis and explode all over you.
Oh, speaking of that, check out the Discord. Yeah, the creepers are not really all that difficult though. You could just shoot arrows at them and then they're done.
Yes, but there's one thing. If you spawn into a horde of them.
Oh yeah, just kiss your bum goodbye. Stick your head between your knees and kiss your bum goodbye.
The nice thing is they do friendly damage to their allies. So a creeper will blow up and actually kill off other mobs around them.
Well, to be honest, Banjo, what else do you expect from a pack of suicide bombers?
That's true.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it was surprisingly fun, because I can remember, a while back when it first went on Xbox Game Pass, me and Pete just tried to play it together, and we were wondering why the fuck it wasn't working.
Yeah, because you had Xbox One and I had PC, so...
Yeah. But you think since it's on the Xbox Game Pass, it would link together, but no, it had to be cross-compatible. compatible or whatever the fuck that word is.
Cross-platform.
Yes,
In November.
thank you. But we didn't know that back then.
Nope. We did not know that. November of 2020. We were paying attention to much different things.
What were we paying attention to? And, oh yeah, Hades.
We were paying attention to a significantly superior game.
Fuck's sake, that was like 2 months ago?
Yeah, man, time flies when you're having fun. Or in a global pandemic.
Or when you're constantly dying in a dungeon.
What else you got?
I will admit that armor is pretty badass, same as the perks for each individual weapon. As since you went there, Peaches, basically I had the perfect armor set. The armor would give me 600% times the amount of normal emeralds I'd find. Then I had a sword that would gather me 400 times the amount of emeralds I would find.
Yeah, it was insane. He was crazy rich.
That's so fucked up.
It was so fucking broken. I think this game would be easy enough if you wanted to grind just for emeralds with that build.
What would you say your review for this game is? Out of 10.
7 out of 10 needs more content that isn't DLC.
Yeah, exactly. Like the DLC just needs to come with the game instead of just having somebody pay. Does anybody know how much the DLC for this is? $6 for the Jungle Pass. Yeah, all of the DLC is like $6.
They do have a season pass for like $20. And apparently that covers not just these DLCs, but an additional DLC that's planning on coming out.
Yep.
It doesn't cover these. Okay, sorry, my bad. What it does is it allows you to get the current DLCs out as a discount, but then it includes the next 4 DLCs that are planned to come out for this game. So I guess the game has quite a lot of DLC planned for it, but considering how short the story mode is, I feel like the first 3 that came out should have been included in the game initially and then have DLC following up after that, because if you just played through the game, you could probably power through the entire story of the game in probably under 3 hours.
Easily. So what would you say your experience with this game was, Banjo? Whatever your name is?
My experience was mostly positive. I was actually surprised. I didn't expect the game to be as entertaining as it was, and I didn't think it was going to be as versatile as it was. I didn't think that there was going to be as much content, not story wise, but in equipment. Because every time I'd get new equipment, I'd find something, a unique thing that came out, and I'd note, it's brand new. So many different things, and of course, you could get the same armor that you already have equipped, but it would have different enchantments. I thought that was pretty neat. So I liked that you could get a lot of different stuff for your weapons and armor and everything like that. Playing multiplayer is definitely where this game shines, 100%. And I didn't really have a good time playing single player. I mean, I played through a couple of levels myself just to get a little bit of experience as to compare the two, single player versus multiplayer. And like you had said, Peaches, the game doesn't hold my attention very well when I'm playing single player. It's just not as entertaining. But when you're playing with other people and they're going all over the place on the map and you're trying to find them or teleport to each other and just facing a boss, with more than one person, it's just more entertaining. It's more fun. And I had the most fun playing this game when I was playing it with you guys, or just playing it with other people in general. It's it's a better game in that aspect. I'd say I didn't expect the game to be as entertaining as it is. I don't know if that's just because I figured, like we had mentioned, baby's first dungeon crawler. I didn't think it was going to be as entertaining as it was, but the game actually offers quite a bit of stuff, even for somebody that's more of a veteran game player such as us. So I liked it, and I think I'm going to go along with Logan on this one and say a good solid 7 out of 10. and that's only because of how many missions are actually available through the story without the DLC. The story is really short, and I think that's really it. Is I liked the visuals, I liked the gameplay. Single player was kind of meh, and the story being as short as it is, it would have been nice to have more missions, more options, I guess, to choose from. And the enemies get kind of dull after a while. You see the same thing over and over, but it's still fun. So yeah, I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
So, with my experience, it was really funny whenever we first started playing. An individual person can just fuck off and just go anywhere they want and just be anywhere on the map. If you want to explore, you can just straight up do that. I've got Logan and Banjo just off clearing everything out of the way for like the main path, but I'm still like exploring around and finding little random dungeons. One or two times I would die and they'd have to come and panic save me. So something that you can do is you can spawn to the other people that you're playing with, and it takes a second, but if another person is dead or down, you can you can teleport to them and pick them up before they die. And that happened like a couple of times. So, I mean, it's probably best to stick together, but if you wanted to, you could just go and do your own thing. And that was actually really funny to me because Logan would be mad that I was off on my own thing. He's like, "Where's Peaches? We can't find Peaches. He's back there." So he's like trying to figure out where I am. That was like so much fun. So much of this game is very simplistic, but that isn't always a bad thing. It's just very, very short. So there's not a whole lot of content there. So you could most likely just clear this game out with your friends in an afternoon and then just be on to your next video game of whatever you're playing, versus some of the other big games that have come out this last year that have so much more like going for it. I don't know about its replay value. If it had more replay value in it, I mean, maybe that would be something, because I know that that's something Diablo has to be, because you have to play through Diablo like several times in order to get like the much higher difficulties. And I don't know if Minecraft Dungeons kind of copied that and did the same thing. So that would be something interesting to explore. You said that there's another difficulty kind of beyond the initial one.
Yeah, there's like 2 additional difficulties.
There's two.
Yep.
Okay. That would actually be interesting to see. But Diablo has so much more, especially with the DLC. It almost adds an entirely new game to it. I think the variation in weapons is good. They could use more variation in enemies. Maybe you can have some monsters riding cows and pigs and stuff. That might have been something that they could have put in, because I didn't see any of that in there.
To be honest, I actually seen a few baby zombies riding the ducks.
Really?
Oh yeah, I saw that
Yeah,
too.
That's fucking great. They need more of that. Overall, I'd probably give this one maybe a little bit higher, maybe a 7.5, because there is fun to be had here. It's just, it's not enough content. It's one of these games where they probably have a pretty good idea going on here, but they just don't have enough levels. Somebody could knock this out in an afternoon and then be done. They need more involved in it.
I found out the narrator's name for Minecraft Dungeons. Her name is Melissa Hutchinson, and we probably know her from, well, she's in League of Legends. I think she is a narrator for that because a name comes up for it. She plays Ashe.
Never played League of Legends.
Well, yeah, and also she is in the Walking Dead games. She's a voice actress for Clementine.
Really?
Yeah, and
Holy
she is
shit.
also the voice actress for Monster Hunter and Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Nice.
Huh. Respect for the Clementine bit.
Yeah, because Clementine, like, I say, like, just redo the fucking TV show and make it about Clementine. Because that game series was a lot more, like, interesting and, like, heart draining
Oh
than,
yeah,
like, the fucking TV show.
Clemmy's a badass.
Yeah, but, like, I cried at the fucking final episode of season 4. For,
Everyone cried. I'd say
yeah, like,
that was such a sad part.
Banjo, do you know what we're talking about?
Not a clue. That was Minecraft Dungeons, everyone.
Okay, thank you all so much for joining us. I guess. Goodbye.
No, we need intermission.
We need intermission. It cannot be a podcast without an intermission, you see. I say. I'm gonna have some hummus.
What even is hummus? All I know is that it's the thing from Don't Mess with the Zohan.
It's bean jizz.
Yeah.
Also known as kummis.
God damn it! You fucker! Let me just adjust my sound settings here.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Add up that
Turn my
gains.
dial, baby.
I'm gonna turn up those sick gains.
Oh, that was a really fun time. Oh my god.
True that.
Banjo, you were amazing. Logan, you did subpar at best. I just noticed that I'm digging. I'm just digging at Logan every single time. Like it has nothing. It's just me just ripping into Logan. It has nothing to do with anything. Like I have no problem with the guy. It's just every single time for some reason that's my first thought. Hopefully, you never take any offense.
That's a, I don't want to see a shower nudes anymore.
Hey, there's no mentioning that on the podcast.
What the fuck was that?
It was a burp.
Are you sure?
No, it was a wraith. Speaking of wraiths, the next game that we will be discussing is
Ghostbusters.
Phasma freaking Phobia, motherfucker.
Ghostbusters.
Bustin' makes me feel good.
Bustin'.
Oh, that's my favorite YouTube video.
It's so good.
And for this next game, we are going to bring in our resident expert, Guinea Pig Poop, a friend of ours that we play with quite a bit. And she's been through so many missions with us trying to hunt down these ghosts.
Yeah, and we're the ones that end up dying.
You're the one that ends up dying. I never die because I'm smart. I always get out of the house in time. You're left behind, apparently stuck through a door.
That's the best. Like when we're playing and we all run out of the house.
That's what happened to me the first time we played,
right
and I still have yet to get that Phasmophobia video up. But yeah, it's the grudge girl, and she fucking exorcist walks down the stairs. And then crawls over to me and kills me. Scares the living shit out of me. You walk out the door, you're like, Peaches? Peaches, are you there? No, I'm not there. I'm dead. I had the crucifix in my hand, and I didn't know how it worked.
Like, when you start playing this game, everything scares you. The noises, the growls, and then, like, as soon as you get used to it, you hear them talking, and you're just like, fuck off.
But it doesn't even bother you anymore.
Because remember when me, you, and Guinea were playing, I was in there alone, I was trying to get her to show herself, and like all she would keep on doing is like speak through the spirit box. And I was getting pissed off.
So just a quick summary of Phasmophobia. Not to go into too much detail. It's essentially a game where you play as paranormal investigators, where you have to investigate a location
And then
and
after
identify the
you
ghost that is
discover what the
haunting that
ghost
location.
is, they actually send people in there and they have them get rid of the ghost. But that is not in any way part of the gameplay. It is just some behind the scenes story stuff that happens. You don't even watch it or pay attention to it. It'd be cool if they added that to the game, though. It'd be cool if you actually had to go in there and try to get rid of the ghost. And the thing is that it's constantly on hunting mode because it knows it's going to be done away with. So that'd actually be a cool addition to the game.
It's basically Zach Baggins VR,
That would
but
be pretty
you're
sweet.
always Aaron.
Anybody else picking up these hot Ghostbuster references?
It's Ghost Adventurer, see it, Fanny.
What else do we want to say about this game?
I guess we can go into predictions, but not so much predictions because we've all played the game. But you guys have played the game far more than I have. So I'm looking forward to playing the game and experiencing more of the locations because there's several locations in the game that you can go to, and I've only been to a few of them. So it'll be fun for me to go to these new locations that I haven't been to yet and try to, identify these ghosts. I really enjoyed the game so far that I've played it,
Yeah.
Yes.
but I know that features
And
keep
they
getting
just
added
recently
because it's still in
added
early access,
the
right?
prison level, which actually isn't all that big of an area. It's just sort of a brand new location with sort of a different variation on how the ghosts kind of come at you.
Yeah, and I think last time Banjo played it was, I'm pretty sure it was a high school. He got halfway down the hallway and we were just looking at you on the map, and then we just see your bleeping light come all the way back.
Yeah, I got scared. I was trying to put on this brave face, like, you want me to go in there and do something? Yeah, I'll totally go in there. And I go in there, and as soon as I enter, the door locks and my flashlight starts flickering. I'm like, oh God, no.
Well, we've all played this, so I mean, our next game predictions really are going to be almost mute or moot. So we've already got kind of an experience, but we want Banjo to play the prison level with us on professional. So you can sort of come in and experience that for yourself.
I'm going to wet myself.
Luckily, me and you have like a good few grand saved, so if we die and lose all our shit, we're fine.
Yeah, and I already have almost 14 of each item, so I have no money saved. I've spent it all.
Oh, God damn
it. So, what do you think? We'll just stick with you, I guess. What do you think your experience of the prison level is going to be?
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And the reason why is because I've always been fascinated with like Alcatraz prison. And I always wanted to go on like a tour there. And hell, I would even stay the night there because I think that's cool as shit. So I'm really excited to play the prison level because it's just right up my alley in terms of interest.
He's gonna get lost in the cafeteria.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die immediately.
As long as it's not a revenant, just remember, as long as it's not a revenant, you can hold down that shift button and just run in the opposite direction of the ghost.
What? Okay.
Yeah, and don't get scared of the little dings that happen.
Yeah, that happens a lot. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching. We appreciate you. And if you made it this far, you are truly amazing. And putting up with all of our stupid Moses talk is really appreciated. So what am I doing here? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to take the helm or get out of the way. I'm going to drive this fucking ship. And I don't even know where I'm going.
Yeah.
So,
thanks everybody for listening. You can find all of our links to all of our social media accounts at our website at joysticksandlunatics.com. You can follow our Twitter at joystickloons, LOONS, and you can follow our personal Twitter accounts. Mine's at BanjoManDG.
Mine is at Overpowered Peach.
And mine is at the Chubby Nerd one. I own the social media accounts.
You
Yay!
don't own the social media accounts no more than I own the YouTube channel.
You can do anything on that YouTube channel.
Well,
Our most viewed video is you licking Nintendo Switch cartridges.
Yeah, maybe I should do more stuff like that. Here, I'll get another video prepared where I'm posing shirtless in like multiple positions.
I'd watch
How
it.
about that? Yeah, you would watch that.
Are you going to sell tape Nintendo Switch cartridges to your nipples?
Yeah, you know what? I'll do that. I will double-sided tape Nintendo Switch cartridges to my nipples, and then I will take the Nintendo Switch case that I've got and duct tape it to my own balls. You happy?
And all you hear is, wow!
And then get Joysticks and Lunatics YouTube channel banned off of YouTube forever. Also, speaking of which, you guys can go check out the Joysticks and Lunatics YouTube channel. You can type in Joysticks and Lunatics and find it straight up like that. We take all of our podcasts, we put fancy little thumbnails on them, and we upload them to YouTube for anybody to view if you don't have any sort of Spotify or Anchor, anything that you listen to. So if you want to just listen to it on YouTube, go for it.
Yeah, but for like your own safety, don't listen to us when you drive.
Oh, I listen to us all the time when I'm driving. That is the only thing that don't drink and drive. Don't talk on your cell phone and drive. Don't text and drive. But you can listen to this podcast and drive.
Isn't that just as bad?
Absolutely. I listen to podcasts while I'm at work.
No, you're not talking to us. If you're calling us on the phone, first I got to ask, how did you get my phone number? And then the next thing I've got to ask is, why are you calling us?
You should be calling the Ghostbusters. Bustin' makes me feel good.
Okay.
Okay.
Per Bill Murray.
What else? What else do we got to end this?
The Scottish insult.
Yes. What is our Scottish insult for the week, Logan?
Okay, it's clatty cretin.
Yeah, clatty
It's a stroke.
Did your life support just give up?
You know what? My life support gave up like 30 minutes ago after the intermission ended.
But yeah, clatty cretin. Basically, I'll split it up into two segments. Clatty is disgusting, nasty. Cretin is like gremlin, little creature.
You clatty cretin.
Cretin?
Not cretin, cretin.
Cretin.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I can. Cretin.
It's MacGyver, not MacGyver. Sorry, I watched MacGyver as a kid. That was the shit. Richard Dean Anderson, like the absolute shit.
Never seen it, but have I ever told you about the time I stayed in England and the teachers kept on saying McIver because they didn't want to say a Scottish name?
Fuck those teachers.
Why?
I fucking know. I don't know. I was the only Scottish person in these fucking schools, and like it was fucking racism.
Jesus.
Fucking hate the British.
Same.
Fuck the British.
But to be honest, if America finds out that Scotland has oil, you're gonna invade us.
We don't have to. The British already did.
Good point.
Sorry, that was too real.
The British are coming.
Thank you all again so much for listening to this. If you are listening to this on iTunes, be sure to give us a review. Reviews always help get the word out of the podcast. If you have a friend that you think would enjoy this, or you have an enemy that you think would hate this, you should send them the link and spread the word.
Yeah, seriously, if this podcast made you laugh, definitely share it with everybody that you know. Your grandmother, your aunts, your uncles, your grandfather. He'll get a kick out of it.
Your stepsister that's stuck in the dryer.
Oh my God. Sorry I derailed this. Go on.
What you doing, Step Podcast?
Okay. All right, I'm just gonna leave at this point.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
What the hell?
What are you looking at?
No. I received an email saying your PS5 is ready. Confirm your shipping address. It's in my spam folder.
It doesn't sound like a scam at all.
I'm gonna end this now.
Goodbye.